6 years ago when the Cleveland Browns, instead of taking Josh Allen, took Baker Mayfield. Do we think that Eliot Wolf learned any lessons from that, looks at that draft and thinks to himself, it would have been better to draft Josh Allen than draft Baker Mayfield? Because you could draw a comparison in this draft to J.J. McCarthy being Baker and Drake May being Josh Allen, right? And he puts it a different way. He puts it as the Patriots would then be open for business because they're not drafting J.J. McCarthy. I'm going to, for the sake of the argument, if you'll engage, Phil.
Totally willing to engage.
If you're willing to engage on this one, draw the comp. J.J. McCarthy, that's Baker. Drake May, that's Josh Allen.
I think it's pretty easy to draw that through line there. And when it comes to the J.J. Baker stuff, I've been told in terms of play styles, not necessarily all that similar. But I think in terms of traits, where the traits are good, they're not amazing. That is true for both guys. That's true for both Baker Mayfield and J.J. McCarthy. Fine arm. Good arm. Not a next-level Josh Allen type of arm. Mobility-wise, both those guys could throw on the move. You know, Baker Mayfield was a little undersized in terms of his height. I think he's barely 6'1". J.J. McCarthy is taller, but I think scouts would tell you from watching him play last year, he did not look like a 219-pound quarterback, which is what he weighed in at the combine. He's 21 years old. Can he gain weight? Can he put that on? Can he become a little bit more sturdy than he was in Michigan? Sure. But traits-wise, they're both sort of B to B-plus guys as opposed to A to A-plus guys. But it was like the moxie stuff. Can I read you a quote from Eliot Wolf? It was right after they drafted
let's hear
Baker
it.
Mayfield. He was asked about Baker Mayfield and his role in scouting Baker Mayfield for the Browns that year. Eliot Wolf said at the time, quote, "The thing for me when I was scouting him, I just thought he was the best guy. Obviously, the organization thought that as well. He has tremendous anticipation. He has a great arm, a quick release. He can see the field. He's a winner. All of those things throughout the process combined together and led us to our decision." He's a winner. Who's done more winning than J.J. McCarthy? Again, that would be that same sort of connective tissue there between Baker Mayfield and J.J. McCarthy. My question, though, Beetle, is this. When you look at the Wolf executive tree, and this is the Ron Wolf executive tree, and he has spawned a number of different general managers, his son included. Brian Gutekunst, who's now with Green Bay. Reggie McKenzie was with the Raiders forever. Scott McCloughan was with Washington and San Francisco. Obviously, Ted Thompson, the other Packers guys that followed Ron Wolf. John Schneider's one in Seattle. 8 quarterbacks. 8 quarterbacks. Of all those guys, 8 quarterbacks drew first or second round picks. Do you want to hear the list?
Yep.
It's a pretty damn good list. Brett Favre was obviously a trade, but Ron Wolf traded a first-round pick for Brett Favre, who was a second-round pick the year prior. So a wild move, a ballsy move, one of the best trades in NFL history, period. Brett Favre, Brian Braum was a second-round pick. Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, Patrick Mahomes, who was a John Dorsey pick, Derek Carr, who was a second-round pick of Reggie McKenzie, and Alex Smith, who was number 1 overall for Scott McCloughan in San Francisco. So only 8 guys. That's a pretty damn good list, though. A lot of hits on that list.
Well, yeah, there are hits, but there are guys in there that I don't love, that I don't hear their name and think this is going to change your franchise.
Oh, but Beetle.
Alex Smith or Derek Carr put you in a bad way, and I'll tell you why. You end up stuck in the middle. You end up with a guy who's good enough to be your quarterback, that you like as your quarterback in the sense that he doesn't totally suck.
Sure.
Right? But also you're not going anywhere. You're in neutral with that player, and you're not picking at the top of the first round again. You're picking somewhere in the late teens with that guy, right? You're a borderline playoff team, but you're never capable of getting over that hump, and you feel forced into signing a guy to a second contract. Think Daniel Jones in New York, and you get stuck with a guy like that. You get stuck with Derek Carr.
You're stuck.
Chiefs didn't get stuck.
You're stuck.
With Alex Smith?
No.
He wasn't their guy. He was San Francisco.
Oh.
And they were stuck. And he was the first overall.
How are they stuck? They drafted Mahomes.
Beetle, you are
Mahomes is not in
focused
that
on
category.
you are focused on Derek Carr and Alex Smith. Of 8 guys, there's 3 Hall of Famers on that list.
I understand.
That's a pretty damn good hit
I understand.
rate.
I'm just saying there are some guys on there, to raise the point about some of the guys on there. When you say hits, I don't consider the Derek Carrs and Alex Smiths as big-time hits. That, to me, is in that category of what we're talking about with a J.J. McCarthy, Baker Mayfield type.
They're not whiffs for sure. I understand you would be disappointed if you draft a quarterback at 3 overall. You don't want Derek Carr, Alex Smith. Derek Carr was a second-round pick, so that's a hit in the second round.
But I want the Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. Favre, Rodgers.
Rodgers.
Love is on a good trajectory right now.
We'll see.
Yeah, after 1 year, it looked pretty damn good.
Yeah, we'll see.
Baker Mayfield, Patrick Mahomes, Derek Carr, Alex Smith. All of these guys, the reason I bring up these names, I think when you're looking at them as a group, they all, not all, a lot of them have big arms. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, Patrick Mahomes.
No more pea shooters around here.
Big old arms, the ability to run around, throw off platform, and be creative behind the line of scrimmage. Even if you're not all that creative, like Alex Smith could run and throw.
Is this
Alex
your way
Smith
of saying
was a good athlete.
that Baker was like an outlier?
Baker's a little bit of an outlier.
Okay, I like that.
And so if Eliot Wolf wants Baker Mayfield, maybe he goes with J.J. McCarthy. But if he wants what this entire tree has seemingly been after for 3 decades, the better fit, in my opinion, is the bigger swing, which is Drake May. So May, to me, is the better Wolf executive tree type of quarterback, even though Eliot Wolf leaned heavy on Baker Mayfield in a draft class where he's a fine quarterback. He's fine. But he's not Josh Allen, and he's not Lamar Jackson.
And let's not forget he's been on 4 teams now. This is his 4th team in 5 years.
So if you're Eliot Wolf, do you look at that, Glassine, and do you say, boy, I screwed that up, and I should change course now? Or do you say, he was just in a bad situation, and my guy would have worked out?
The latter.
So then maybe get ready for J.J. McCarthy.
Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.